So for those of you who haven't seen, there is an update on the Epstein files. Currently right now, there is a push to have the Epstein files released to the public here in the next couple weeks. Some of the biggest names that are trying to have these released are Marjorie Taylor Greene, as well as Thomas Massie, two sitting members of Congress that haven't taken any money from AIPAC. So in response to this, Donald Trump calls Marjorie Taylor Greene a classic rhino, and calls Thomas Massie a rhino as well, looking to be involved in forever wars, and it's kind of interesting. So right now, you can obviously tell that there is a divide in the Republican Party. One of the biggest major contributors, I believe, is due to Israel and with the rise of Nick Fuentes. And, you know, it's hilarious because this administration has gone back and forth so many different times in terms of the Epstein files that, you know, we're going to release them. You know, we have binders where they were flaunting in the beginning that they had the Jeffrey Epstein files. And then now it turns out that Jeffrey Epstein did in fact kill himself and that the cameras weren't working specifically. And then they did have camera footage and they showed that. And then but it was like from a far distance away. And then they doctored it. They doctored the evidence footage because they took out a minute. So all these things are happening around the Jeffrey Epstein files, and it just seems like this administration just doesn't want to release it. And now with President Trump and his response to the Jeffrey Epstein files, he calls it a hoax, which is the dumbest thing you can do.
Made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden, we went through years of that.
Clearly, this was not a hoax. Clearly, there are many women involved that were victims due to Jeffrey Epstein. And yes, President Trump is affiliated with this. His name is in the files. There are photos of him with Jeffrey Epstein. So, you know, there's clear indication that he does not want this to come out. Now, I don't agree with people saying that the president is a pedophile and that he's done horrible and shocking and evil things. I don't believe that until there's proof to show the fact that he did do these things. But also with this administration, in the past, they have noted that they do have thousands of hours of video evidence that shows the fact of who these people were, who they are, that we know that they're still out there today in powerful and wealthy positions, that they're living a scot-free life and they haven't paid for their crimes. But there is video evidence out there that shows the fact that these crimes were real. They've said that, and then they redacted their statements by saying it wasn't.
Tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn, and there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume, and that's what they're going through right now.
Which it just shows the insincerity and the lying to the American people. And people don't like being lied to when it's blatantly obvious. And then, you know, when they try to put the files away and they try to push that aside and say that it wasn't a real thing, and they tried to like not make it popular, like a popular topic anymore. And Trump was like, why is everybody obsessed with this guy? Who cares about this guy? Who gives a shit? Like, clearly, like, he's just totally lying.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable.
And so he puts out a tweet the other day saying that he's going to put together an investigation and have Pam Bondi launch an investigation looking into Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, as well as Reid Hoffman and many others involved with this case. Oh, and also in response to the Epstein files and everything going on, Tulsi Gabbard puts out a tweet last night, which was just the dumbest tweet ever. In the middle of all this, she puts out a tweet saying, hey guys, just letting you know that we're going to be releasing the files in relation to Amelia Earhart and, you know, what happened to her. And it's like, dude, nobody gives a shit about Amelia Earhart right now. We care about what happened to these victims and these children. It's just crazy. But if they actually do end up releasing the files, which I don't think they will, I think they'll cut up a deal with the Democrats. Something will get cut up where it'll get swept underneath the rug again. I mean, look, we've been trying to get the JFK files for how long? And when it comes to the video evidence as well, I think that, you know, there's video evidence. I don't think it should be shown to the public. I don't think that we should make it public to the, obviously we don't want to show the victims. We don't want to bring that up, but we clearly have the technology to block out the victims and we can show who the perpetrators are. There's video evidence that shows who these people are. So the fact that we don't release this stuff and we don't block out the actual crime, we just show who the perpetrators are in the video, and we're not being fully transparent with the people just shows how disingenuous they are. So I don't know. I think it's crazy. I don't think those files are ever going to get released. I don't think that's really going to ever happen. The documents, sure, whatever, they show whatever, but the real thing is the video evidence. And we clearly have the technology to be able to block out everything and show who the perpetrators are and show their faces, but that's not going to happen. That won't ever happen. So drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And yeah, see ya. Thanks.